everybody. Scotty Milas, the perfect franchise, ScottMilasFranchiseCoach.com. Another episode of Rapid Fire Q&A, and I am here with Mrs. Wonderful, Wendi Hill, president and founder of Market Momentum. We are going to be answering questions, I guess, from people that have submitted some Q&A, I guess, or questions on some of our social sites. And I apologize for being a few minutes late, but we had some technical issues. But here we are. Wendi, welcome to the show. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I guess this is our last show for 2025. Holy cow. Right?
I know. I can't believe it. I was talking to somebody earlier today how fast this year has gone. No, I mixed things up. This month we got some questions in, and I changed the format to finish the sentence rapid fire questions. So finish the sentence and elaborate if you like.
I am ready. I am ready.
Okay, so we have 7. Here's the first one. The biggest mistake new franchise candidates make is?
They don't ask a lot of questions. They're not digging into what they should be asking. And in my process, we have a 6-step analysis, how to validate. Right. Sometimes candidates are worrying too much about what the FDD said. But while that's important, it's not as important as the validation, talking to franchisees and talking to franchisors. And I think the other thing that franchise candidates make a mistake in is they let fear kind of dictate their decision process. And the last thing I would say is that candidates have a tendency to focus on the upfront side of a business, and they're not focusing on what can get them or what brand can get them to the goals that they've set out for themselves, that we built that model. Sure. So I would say those are just some common mistakes that franchisees make.
Okay, good answers. Number 2, a franchisor instantly earns my respect when they
treat their franchisees with respect. I mean, that's really it. I mean, when you can get positive feedback from franchisees on the franchisor support side, the ability to be there to help, assist, train on a constant process, being there. That's what I look for in a brand. We've had a brand in our portfolio that we've done a lot of work with, and they just paused development. And I have a lot of respect for that, because they paused development because they brought in a lot of new franchisees and they want to get them up and running. So instead of devoting all of the attention to bringing in new people, they're focusing their attention to get people opened. And that's what I like to see in a brand.
Okay, that's good. We've talked about that before.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, number 3, the conversation that tells me someone is not ready for franchising is when they're
the negative Nelly. They're finding all the reasons not to do it versus trying to find the reasons that they should do it. They're not following the process with the brand. They're missing phone calls. They're missing scheduled calls. The big one for me is that if you're going to be looking for financing or look at financing options as part of your validation, if a candidate is unwilling to do that or feels that they don't have to do it until they find the right brand, that is kind of a red flag for me as well. That just says, but I think a lot of it is there's that old saying, a zebra doesn't change its stripes. Right. So anyone who is acting a certain way or not acting a certain way in the initial process to learn more about a particular brand is only setting themselves up to be that kind of way as if they were a business owner. And brands have a tendency to shy away from people like that.
Okay, that's understandable. Number 4, the most underrated part of due diligence is?
People not really digging into the operational marketing side. How does marketing help them get clients? What are the costs to marketing? What's the unit economics to marketing? How does it help them serve their clients? They focus on too much of the ROI and the numbers and the income potential. They don't dig into, the core component of the franchise or the brand. Does the brand resonate with them? Can they support them? It's kind of like a marriage. You're not always going to agree, but can you get along if you disagree?
Right.
So
Can you get
again,
through
those
it?
are the things, the relationship side. So a lot of people like to jump to the item 19 and an FDD, and that's just not the way to evaluate a brand. It's important, don't get me wrong,
Right.
but if you can't see yourself as the business owner, don't feel you can get along, don't like the operations, don't like the marketing strategies, what's the difference what the numbers are? Because
Right.
why do it?
What's the point? Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Number 5, if I could give every franchise buyer one superpower, it would be the ability to.
Wow, this is a tough one. I think the thing that most entrepreneurs have, there's one common skill set that most successful entrepreneurs have, and that's the ability to make decisions in a timely manner and not procrastinate or over something that has to be a decision. Um, you know, it's important as an entrepreneur and as you're exploring franchising and looking at brands, and that's what brands look for is people who can make timely decisions. So if I could wiggle my nose and give somebody the power, to make timely, effective decisions, that's what I would tell them. You
Okay.
can't be a procrastinator and be a business owner, I don't think, or a
Right.
successful business owner. I'm sure there are some out there, but you can't dwell on,
Right.
you can't change what you can't control. It's kind of like, the serenity prayer, God
Right.
give me the strength to change what I can and the things that I can't. So that's what I would, that's the one thing I would tell people.
Okay. That's a good
Superpower, the
answer.
power to have patience and make decisions in a timely manner.
Great. 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 Number 6, a great franchise brand stands out because it consistently.
Treats its franchisees fairly, and
Okay.
you're going to hear that, and treats them well with respect at all levels. The people that are doing very, very well, and even the people that are struggling and need some extra help. And you'll find that out in the franchisee validation when people are talking to franchisees. That's what
Okay.
you want to hear in a franchise. That goes back to what I talked to you about before about support and getting it from the brand. To me, that's important. That's a strong component of someone being successful.
Right. Very good. And last but not least, number 7, after all these years in the industry, the thing that still surprises me is.
People who think they have all this money and think they would make good business operators or business owners. It,
Okay.
it just surprises me sometimes that, you know, that people seem to think that they know more than the brand.
Right.
I always tell the story of, let's just say this person was a professional athlete, retired, and I was trying to instruct them about how to validate or the right questions to be asking. And this person got on the phone with a particular brand and was discussing marketing and told the developer that their marketing just basically sucked and that, why would they use that company, da 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 da. And the brand
Right.
called me up and just said, hey, um, I don't think we can bring this person on board. Love to have him in our portfolio, but it's just, so when I got this person on the phone, I said, why couldn't you just ask, how does the marketing help me get clients? I mean, this is a brand that had, almost 200 locations, was, kind of that name, not a name brand, but you would know it.
Right.
But so again, it's just sometimes people think that they know more than everybody else and they're not willing to put their education hat on and learn. It's kind of,
Right.
they think because and it's not necessarily related to money, but a lot of it comes from people who have no pain,
Right.
so I hope that answers the question, but
But those were good. That's good. That's all I have for now. We'll have more in January of 26. Can you believe that?
yeah, 2026. Well, anyway, Wendy, again, wishing you and your family all the
You
best.
too.
It's been a
Thank you.
great year. We got some exciting things planned for the podcast, all things considered
Mm.
franchising.com. We'll have some great more episodes of rapid fire Q&A. For those listeners out there and people that are going to listen pre-recorded, I am your host, Scotty Milas, theperfectfranchise.com or scottmilasfranchisecoach.com. You can reach out to me by emailing me as well, Scotty at theperfectfranchise.com, or visit my websites. I wish all the listeners out there a great Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, a wonderful, prosperous, healthy, and happy New Year. And that's about it. We'll catch you on the rebound in 2026.
That
That's
sounds
it for
good.
now. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.